Hello, I am Bilal Ahmed. I am 19 years old and I am currently studying general medicine and I'm in the second year of it. Let's answer some of the questions. Number one, what is a successful volunteer experience for you and what impact would you like to leave behind? A successful volunteer experience for me would be to make an impact into people's heart and mind and to help them think and come to the realization themselves of how climate change is not a joke. It is the need of the hour, and we need to actively work on it if we want to have a bright and healthy future and not just passively watch as the world burn. And it would be challenging for me too because I need to be vulnerable and open to work with people with different opinions, with different culture, and experiencing their truth with climate change and their experience and the vast diversity of opinions that I'm gonna get, and it will help me broaden my perspective on the current issues. What are your personal values and how do you stay true to them? My personal values are empathy, gratitude, compassion for others, openness to new things, always trying to learn something new, and most importantly, patience. So I try to surround myself with people I admire and the qualities of them which I aspire to be. So I try to be more in relation with them so I could learn from them. Uh, I try to introspect about how I behave and how I did something. I do make mistakes. I try not to repeat them, but even if I repeat them, I'm mindful of them and I try to learn from these mistakes and why I'm doing something a certain way. And I believe self compassion is a core value towards being true to yourself. So I try to love myself or just act like I start believing. So there's no judgment towards myself, and the negative critic is always behind my mind, not actively taking part in not actively taking part in my decision making. And Number three, what are your expectations related to this exchange program? I expect a respectful and healthy and nurturing environment with a supporting network for the activities I would be doing with the students. I want to be productive and give my all and all the knowledge I have and the full potential of me, which I would be able to use in these 6 weeks. And it will depend on how much freedom I have to do, or do I have to be following a strict curriculum. I wish to make a change and share my point of view and listen to others and maybe come to a common ground with respect and understanding for each other. And yeah, that would be my ideal exchange experience. Uh, why do you believe climate action is important during these times? I think it's important because we don't realize how much suffering has already been happening right now. We have burned so much carbon dioxide and industrial gases and emitted them to the environment that the planet's temperature is rising and changing the climate. We see rising sea levels, flooding, heat waves, animals dying, frequent flooding, frequent droughts at other points, and we have loss of species. They are getting extinct, and it is supposed to happen, but the speed at which this is happening is not sustainable. It shouldn't be happening just after that industrial revolution, and we need to fix it before we get to the point of no return, so that we can still have a future, at least for the children's. What kind of activities would you do in order to raise awareness in children? I came up with a few in a day, so okay, something for which the children to be actively involved. I would say we would have an activity with them having to calculate their plastic consumption. I'll ask them to count the number of plastic bags they use every day, the covers in their toys, their chocolates, and once we get to realize how much we are using these stuffs and how much we are throwing them back, I would tell them about how it never degrades and how it gets stuck in oceans and how animals are strangulated by it. It can be a little scary, but we need to tell them in such a way that they aren't so freaked out about it. And when they do get freaked out, then we need to tell them how to stop it. Like, how can we? I'm gonna tell them about the three R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, and how, even though we have plastic waste, how can we use it to? How can we do our part into reducing it by recycling the plastic and stuff, and telling other people to do it. We can have like a big chunk of ice to represent glaciers in a tub of water, and we can have like some animals on it, polar bears and stuff. So as they're melting, the water level is rising, so that can represent flooding. Or like we could make a little land, like how the land is getting flooded with water as the icebergs melt. And on the other hand, on the iceberg, that the animals, the polar bears and sea lions that live on it, they are drowning and dying. So it's two-way street. And another thing we can do is asking the children to ask their grandparents and elders how the climate was some years back and how it is changing nowadays. Like it's getting too much rainier some places. It's getting too much droughtier some places. It's getting too much hotter every year. We are having every year. It's like the hottest temperature recorded, the coldest temperature recorded. So yeah, getting that input from their grandparents or guardians or any elder they find would make a substantial difference in their opinion and how they will be molded in the future. And the basic one would be teaching them to save electricity, turning off the power, how they can make some things in this. Yeah. And yeah, these are some of my ideas. Thank you.